It's a blessing to welcome on a top five recruit in the class of 2021. He's a five-star gold medalist and the highest ranked commit in Auburn history, Jabari Smith Jr. How you doing, man?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good. Well, take us through this, man. You're getting closer and closer now. You're under 6 months to get on campus, hopefully. Kind of take us through your emotions, how you feeling?
I'm very excited. I'm just really focusing on finishing the high school season right. Winning the state championship. I'm watching all the Auburn games. I'm getting real excited, real anxious to get on campus and get to work.
And you're watching them. We know it's probably a little bit rougher season for them to start the year, but since Sharif goes out there 4-2, everyone's playing a much higher level. How much more excited does that make you just watching this team play right now?
Just watching them play it gets me real, like I said, anxious and like real like
Mhm.
excited to get there and me seeing how together the team is, even though they, didn't start how they wanted to. Everybody's so together and so bought into Coach Pearl and just the whole Auburn program. So I just love watching them and get me real excited.
We're going to get into this a little bit later, but right now you're in the middle of a high school season, 15-4. You're doing your thing once again. What's your thoughts on the season so far? How you feeling about the year?
I feel like we've had some losses where I feel like that didn't go our way, and I feel like it was just bad nights for us, and I feel like we should have won. But that happens to everybody, so you can't really dwell on it. But I feel like right now our team's looking pretty good. We still got soft spots that we need to clean up to ensure that we get the ultimate goal, and that's to win a state championship. But I feel like this year we've grown so much. Our team is predominantly new, so not a lot of us have played together. So let's just stand together and just buying into what coach is telling us and just staying as a team the whole season has really been cool. And I can't wait to hopefully get to the end of the season and finish it how we want to.
By the end of the season now, you're going to wrap up something that not a lot of top recruits do anymore, and that's stay at the same school all 4 years of your high school career. We know so many guys are transferring, going to play different places, especially because of COVID right now. But you're staying at the same
hmm
school all 4 years, Sandy Creek. What was the decision? Why'd you want to stay at the same program your whole career?
I just felt like it was no reason for me to leave. Like I
Mhm.
just feel like no matter who you're playing against or um or where you're playing at, it doesn't. You're not going to get better, and you're not going to reap the benefits that you want if you don't work hard and put the work in yourself. So, I
Mhm.
just I just felt like staying loyal to Coach Nick and the Sandy Creek program because I just felt like that was a place for me to not be in the spotlight all the time. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
just stay under the radar, put in my work, and let the rest take care of itself.
There is something too about where you're playing in that division, the teams you get to go up against, and there's about three or four areas I'd say that you don't really need prep for, and your area is obviously one of them where you're going up against the best guys night in, night out. You play against guys like Matt Cleveland already. Last year, you played against a lot of guys. Just take us through how special it is going up against almost like another top ranked player, another guy going Division 1, practically every night.
hmm I just feel like it just prepares you for that next level. So like when you get to that next level, everybody was the best player in the high school team or was a high ranked recruit. Not everybody, but you know what I mean. But
Mhm.
it's just really preparing you for the next level, and you can really sometimes you can really match yourself and really see where you're at, and really sometimes it can be an eye opener for you to see how much more you got to get better and it's just great for my teammates to experience that too because some of them are young and it's just teaching them that it's always going to be somebody out there who's not better than you but always you just can't let somebody be out there working harder than you or you just can't let somebody get the upper hand on you and it's just a good eye opener to know that it's other people out there and you got to work harder.
Throughout your high school career, you look back at all the guys you played against. Who'd you say is maybe the hardest guy, or maybe a top three or four or five guys that you've gone up against from freshman year to this year?
I think all of the top ones that I've gone against is probably most of them are from the Pangos camp. Like Paulo was he was real hard to guard. Paulo, I would say Paulo, Chet. Those are two tough matchups for me. Michael Foster was pretty hard to guard.
Mhm.
Nothing I can handle, of course, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But those those was three pretty good matchups for me, and also Matthew Cleveland, of course. I've been playing against him for so long.
Mhm.
Him being from Georgia, so like he's always a good matchup for me. We always like competing against each other, and Ian Shefflin, he goes to Grayson. He actually committed and signed to Clemson. So he's a pretty good matchup in Georgia for me. We always compete and we're good friends too. So it's pretty good going against him. So I'll say that's pretty much the top people I've played against and going against off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure it's more, but you know.
Yeah. And you mentioned Matt Cleveland. You guys have had that close bond now for a long time. Pretty much been together through AAU, same state, events, you guys constantly going
Mm-hmm,
to the same ones. Talk about your guys' bond, but
mm-hmm.
especially what's it like just going against him when you guys playing a game?
I just feel like our bond grew with the Celtics team. We didn't know each other a lot, but like coming together on the team, it's always been like me and him competing for, who's the best player in Georgia. You know what I mean? He
Mhm.
played for Hype, and I played for the Celtics. So like, it was always at one point it was him at number one, I was number two, and then it was me at number one, and he was number two. So it was just always going back and forth. And then when we got on that same team, it was just like all of that went out the window. We just wanted to win, and we played together, and we became how we are now, which is brothers. And and playing against them, it's just we always bring the best out of each other. We love playing against each other. I love playing against him, and more people on that team actually play for the Celtics, and people we know from Georgia, like Cole Middleton. He didn't play for the Celtics, but he's from Georgia. We're pretty cool. Madison Dirt played for the Celtics a little bit, and he's pretty cool. I've known him for a real long time. Though we played when we were younger, but yeah, I say us playing against each other and with each other just helped us so much.
I have to ask you this. We know you're clear going to Auburn, perfect fit for you. Matt's going to Florida State, perfect fit out there for him too. But do you guys ever discuss potentially teaming up? And if so, how far do those discussions ever get?
I mean, we have talked about it. We know we talked about teaming up at like, honestly, I feel like everybody talks about it,
Yeah.
but I feel like we've talked about teaming up at like Florida State and sometimes Georgia, but they always end with whatever decision is best for us, and it just didn't work out that way, and we both are in great situations. So you can we'll look back on it and laugh and see what if, but we're both in great situations, and I feel like both of us will reap the benefits that we're looking for.
Out of all the guys you did ever discuss teaming up with, was Matt the one you ever got the closest to possibly going down that route with, or was it someone else you got pretty close to teaming up with?
I feel like I got real close to teaming up with Kennedy Chandler and
Mhm.
at Tennessee, and I feel like Paolo was close to doing it too. It possibly could have been me, Kennedy, um, Paolo, Harrison Ingram, and Jahmai. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not
Mhm.
sure, but it possibly could have been us. But we talked about it, but we had a group chat and everything. But it just didn't work out like that. We all had different paths and different 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 aspirations, and God just led us on different paths, so it didn't work out. But I know all of them gonna be good, just real cool people. So I know everything's gonna work out for them, and hopefully it works out for me too.
That would have been the number one class, no matter who else would have went anywhere in the country. I mean, we're
Yeah.
talking about number two, I believe, number four, three in you, Kenny's top 10, Jahmai's top 70. That would have been a special team. But when was that conversation going on? Was that during the COVID time? Was it prior to that? Like, when were you guys really talking about that?
I feel like it was right before COVID kind of, like really picked up. I feel like right before then. But I feel like Kennedy kind of was, like bringing me and Paulo on because I feel like Kennedy already knew he was going to Tennessee for a real long time. 'Cause, he's from there.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's just been his best. I feel like that's where he wanted to go anyway. But it just we just been talking about it, and then we actually had planned on going on a visit together. All three of us going on a visit to Tennessee,
Mhm.
and then right when that happened, that's when COVID happened, and they restricted all visits, so it couldn't happen. So that's when everybody started making decisions off of just not really visiting campuses, just going off basically what you know and what you have visited. So we talked about it a lot, and it just didn't work out.
That's what the next thing was going to ask you about the visit aspect. If you guys could all went on a visit together, take the team pictures, go see the campus, do you think that actually could have been something that could have been a lot more likely of possibly teaming up there?
I feel like it could have been, because we not because we're cool with each other, but we don't actually know each other. You know what I mean? So I feel
Mhm.
like that would have really like got to see like if we bonded or something like that. And I feel like if that would have happened, we would have. it would have potentially ended up all three of us at Tennessee. So, but like I said, it just didn't work out, and I know all of them gonna do great. So just got to
Absolutely.
move on. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, let's kind of go into this recruiting process for you because you are guys we all know like to keep it more low key. You're not necessarily all about media, all about social media, all that kind of stuff. But you kind of give hints. You kind of talk about some schools that could be in the mix for you. We know LSU is there, UNC, Georgia, Georgia Tech. Clearly, Auburn's in the mix. But who really was in that final group for you leading up to your decision?
I feel like in the final group, I feel like it was. I just feel like I'm gonna keep it real. It was honestly between Georgia, Tennessee, and Auburn.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like Georgia Tech was so close to home, so I just had to keep them in there, and the coaching staff's real cool, and it's just very close to home, like really like 30 minutes. Like the stadium from my dad's house is really like not even 30 minutes, maybe like 20, like 15. So like it's real close to where my dad lives. So I feel like those were the top like my top four, I would say. And it was just between those four schools. It was a very hard decision, but I had to sit down, talk to my family, talk to God, and just figure out what was the best decision for me.
And you're going through that clearly in a pandemic where visits are restricted, all this stuff's going on, it's all through Zoom. Really, how was Auburn able to separate themselves? What was the thing that Coach Pearl and that coaching staff sold you on?
Just them promising me that they were gonna push me every day, promising me that they were gonna bring the best out of me, and it being so close to home. Also, that's honestly like an hour and maybe 15 from my mom's house, so that's real close. So just and them always preaching a family atmosphere. I just like how, every coach you talk to always talks about um basketball and how would I fit their system and stuff like that. But people never some coaches never talk about just like you as a person and how I would feel being there and how they would treat me. And I just want to go somewhere where I'm not gonna be treated no differently. I'm gonna be pushed. Um and I just know that it's all gonna be up to me on whether I'm successful or not because the coaches are gonna push me. Um, great teammates, and it's nothing like Auburn Arena, so I just couldn't say no to that.
There's a few coaches out there. I mean, we obviously know the greats, Coach Calipari, we know Coach K, Coach Roy Williams, Bill Self. They're great coaches, but there's some coaches on the rise right now that every single recruit seems to love. And that's Coach Pearl's one of those guys because he has that energy. He has that family atmosphere.
Yeah.
He's also able to get real with you. Just take us through him, though, just talking to Coach Pearl, just having his energy, talking to him on a serious note, too. What's he like to have all the things that come with him? What's he just like as a coach?
He's very, very energetic. Um, he's very energetic, very open. You can talk to him about anything.
Mhm.
He's always gonna keep it real with you. He jokes around a lot. I feel like I'll get to know more of him when I get to campus and really, around him every day and all of that. So he's just a great man, great coach. I've heard nothing but good things about him. Um, and it's just I just can't wait to get down there and get to work.
That first time you started talking to Coach Pearl, what was his reaction? Would he come off really energetic that first time, or what was his first kind of emotions, that first conversation with him?
First conversation with him. I feel like it wasn't very, energetic. I feel like it was a kind of introducing itself, and then it was kind of already like I kind of not knew him already, but I knew of him because my AU coach is Coach Harper, and that's Jared Harper's dad. So it
Mm-hmm.
was just kind of a connection. So we kind of talked about that a little bit, and the conversation just flowed, and the relationship was good from day one. And after that, it just kept getting better, and it ended up being the decision I made.
So when did you start getting the full Bruce Pearl, the energy, the jokes? When did that all that kind of come together when you guys started talking?
I feel like it came out when he started talking to me and my dad on Zoom calls. That's when Corona hit, and I was actually going an official, to Auburn, but I couldn't. I only went on a regular visit. It wasn't an official, so that's when like Zooms picked up and school started doing Zooms and stuff like that. But I feel like it came out when we were just on Zoom, just just being ourselves, talking and talking about what could possibly be and all of that. And I just feel like that's when it came out.
I want to ask you as a recruit, each guy has their own personal takes on it, but How did you like the Zoom calls? Was it something that took time to adjust to, or did you like it at first? Just what kind of were your thoughts on having to go through the Zoom and phone call route?
Honestly, I hated it. Honestly, I just felt like you can only get so much out of a Zoom. You can only get so much from a school by just sitting there and just talking to them. You know what I mean? Like you can't really get the feel or like you just can't really feel it. I feel like other college recruits would say the same thing.
Hmm.
It's like it's just honestly not the same. Um, but I feel like it's still good to talk to coaches, see their face still. They can show you stuff on the Zoom. Pull up PowerPoints and different stuff like that. But I just feel like it's not. It would never compare to being on campus, seeing somebody face to face, and really getting a feel and the atmosphere of where you're visiting and where you're at.
Now, there is one big thing that we know is clearly the biggest decision for you because we know college is huge for you. You're going to really want to enjoy that year or two, however long you spend there. But ultimate goal is NBA for you. We would know that's your ultimate goal. So, what
Mhm.
was his talk about you when you're talking to coaching staff? What was their pitch to you about NBA wise? Like, how do they plan to get you there? What's the comparison for you? How do they plan to get you to that level? Take us through their conversation on that route.
Honestly, it was a huge decision why I chose there because they honestly didn't talk about the NBA that much. They honestly talked about just getting me better, and I feel like it's gonna be hard to succeed playing basketball if you just think about, just go to college and be like, I gotta go to the NBA, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta play this way to get here or something like that. You know what I mean? So just them telling me to love the game and I feel like if you love the game, put your all into it, and God will take you wherever, how far He wants you to go with it, and stuff like that. So I've never really set a plan to be one and done, or 2 years, or 3 or 4, or however many it takes. But my ultimate goal is to go to the NBA. But I'm not rushing or nothing. I'm just gonna work hard every day, put my all into it, and if it does take 1 year, I'll go 2 years, whatever. But I'm not I'm not really focusing on, getting there in 1 year. Just taking my time and just staying down.
You're a guy that there's about three or four of you guys. I put you, Payne Watson, Chet, and Damian Collins, kind of same group where you guys can be ranked wherever they want, but we know that the limit for you guys, the sky and the ceiling is immense for you guys. You guys don't really have any of that because you guys are so long. You guys still have a lot to grow into your body. So when you look at yourself and you say maybe in 2 years after your freshman year at Auburn or ultimately maybe 5, 10 years when you're hopefully in the NBA by that point, where do you see yourself developing into? How special can Jabari Smith be?
I feel like I can develop into I feel like right now I'm a two-way player, but I feel like I can turn into a great like guard 1 through 5, guard the best player, no matter what position he is. I feel like I can really turn into a great defender. Me knowing what I can do on the offensive end, you have to find different ways to separate yourself from other guys who can put the ball in the hoop because it's a lot of people in the country. It's a lot of people in the country who can score. So you just got to separate yourself and find different ways. So I just feel like I can just become a great defender, a great leader, a great teammate, and always sharpening my offensive skills and one day becoming a great two-way player that everybody talks about and describes as a two-way player.
We hear comparisons from all kind of media sources all over the country. Some guys say something like Jaren Jackson and many other examples out there. But how about you personally? Who are some guys that you either model your game after, you take pieces from, or
Mhm.
you might even compare yourself to?
I feel like in the near future, I feel like I could say I would want my game to like mature into a Anthony Davis type,
Hmm.
but Anthony Davis type. I take pieces from like Jason Tatum, um, Kevin Durant, of course. Just guys that like my height that can do a lot. And I actually watch Bam a lot and just watch how much he talks, the energy he plays with. Because you can't teach energy, you can't teach effort, like a lot of coaches say. So just watching that, and those are a few guys I like watch and try to compare myself to and see if I can get to their level one day.
You do have that unique game where you're a guy that you almost kind of silently can talk trash talking a little bit. You're not necessarily always crazy athlete. You're not always crazy with emotions and all that, but you keep it a lot more cool. It's not quite to the Kawhi level, but you still are just kind of a modern, just kind of low key kind of guy when you're on the court too. Take us
Mhm.
through that approach to a game and how you kind of keep that. 'Cause I know something like you wrote, Robbie Anderson talked about you as being a guy that he loves going up against because you kind of quiet trash talk. We know Robbie's a lot more
Mhm.
energetic guy. But take us to your
Uh,
personality on a court.
I feel like I do talk to players, but I just feel like I try not to, like show it like
Mhm.
as much as he do. You know how he is, but I just try not to show it, and just like just try to show that if the opponent is trying to get in my head or trying to do that talking route, because that's a lot of people try to do with how rated players and stuff like that. They try to like get in their head, but I might laugh at it a little bit or just ignore them or something like that. But I will say something every now and then, but I just try not to focus on it. Just silence it out and let all the talking let all the talking be from the court and how much I'm finna give him or how much he's gonna go through when he's guarding me and I'm guarding him the whole night.
Now, there are some guys that kind of become a common answer in different areas of the country, but who, for you personally, would you say has been the best trash talker you go up against, rather it be in Georgia or the entire country in general?
Um, uh, I feel like it's Robbie.
Mhm.
I played him. I've played him all the way up to. I haven't played him this year when I was a senior because of Corona and he moved to the school he's at now. But
Mhm.
we played last year at when he was at Thero and like he talks like the whole game. Like I never seen somebody like have so much energy just to like talk and just to like I don't know. But but he real cool, real funny. I feel like that's definitely the best trash talk I've played against. I'm trying to think of another one. Matt don't talk.
Mhm.
Matt don't talk. Matt kind of he talks a little bit, but he not talking that much. A lot of guys at Pangos didn't talk like that. Um, I feel like nobody can pass Robbie at trash talking. It's definitely Robbie.
And another guy in Georgia is Jalen Deloche, and I know another guy that you also play with at
Oh my
Pangos over
God.
there.
Oh, I forgot. Oh yes, yeah. Jalen, yeah, he's bad too. He talks a lot too. He talks. He real cool too though. I'm real cool with him too. Yeah. He's definitely up there. He definitely try to get under your skin too and talk and be physical with you. So it'll definitely be him and Robbie. I forgot about him. Thanks for saying that because I
Mhm.
definitely forgot.
So who would you say has maybe been like the funniest guy you've gone up against, whether it be through trash talk or just someone that's funny when you're on his as a teammate or just when you're going against him?
um, as a teammate or going against him. Robbie was funny. Uh, actually, Debo Coleman pretty funny. He
Mhm.
he was at Pangos. Um, who else was kind of funny? Paolo kind of low key funny. He doesn't really like try to make you laugh, but he one of those people like he just naturally like funny kind of. Um, uh, yeah, I feel like it's just Robbie. Jalen's funny too, but Jalen's funny in like a way like he's not like kind of like Paolo. He's not trying to be funny, but he just
Mhm.
he just funny. But yeah, I feel like those are the funniest. It's a lot of people at Pangos who is funny, but I just can't remember their name. I
Mhm.
just can't remember their name. I wish I could, but it was this one player from New York. You probably know him, but I don't. I don't remember his name, but he was real funny on the court. But those are the guys I can just think up off the top of my head.
Well, we do know that in a 6 months or so, when you get to the Auburn locker room, you're going to be alongside probably, I think it's 12, 13 other guys that are going to be funny. We know the entire team's always
Uh-huh.
laughing, always having fun. How do you kind of plan to get involved with those guys and how excited to be with that locker room?
I just, I feel like I'm real easy to get along with. I'm not hard to get along with. I
Mhm.
feel like I joke here and there, but it's just like, I feel like I won't have no problem getting along with nobody or being a good teammate and nothing like that. But I just can't wait to get down there and meet them. They seem real cool, so just getting down there and like I said, getting to work.
That locker room always has a lot of videos involving guys dancing out
Yeah.
there. Even Coach Pro gets involved in that. All the coaches do. Will we see you in those
Uh-huh.
videos? Are you a dancer?
Nah, I wouldn't say I'm too much of a dancer, but I'll get hype a little bit. I'll turn up a little bit on the video or two, but I'm not really no dancer like that, I would say.
Mhm. Are there any guys in that locker room currently that's on that team that you've kind of grown really close to or started that bond with?
I wouldn't say nobody I really grown really close with. I know people I know of and I talk to them and like we're cool, but there's nobody I really like build a relationship with. I talked to Sharif a little bit.
Mhm.
I talked to Devin. I've played against JT and talked to JT, so it's just people, a few guys I know and don't know too much about, but I mean, don't know too much of them personally, but I met them and I'm cool with them.
We went through the Penguins a little bit, but you were in that camp, and there was a guy that wasn't committed yet on that team, but he ended up committing about a week after you guys got back, and that's Trey, and he clearly has gone out there to Auburn with you. Take us through that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have an impact on him ultimately going to Auburn? Were you trying to recruit him there? Just take us through how Trey
Uh-huh.
ultimately ends up at Auburn.
I feel like I was joking with him a little bit the whole camp. I was just like anytime I like made a good pass to him or something, or he made a good pass to me, I'd be like that could happen at Auburn or something like that. So
Mhm.
and like, we were just talking about, like I feel like in any camp or anything, all the recruits talk about schools and stuff like that and different opinions and stuff. So I was just talking to him about that, and I was just telling him how much Coach Pearl wanted him, and I think I don't know how much I impacted him or even if I did at all, but
Mhm.
I was trying to mess with him a little bit and get him down there. But he's a great teammate too. One of those dudes who don't complain, just always encouraging, and he was real cool too. Real cool dude to meet.
As a recruit, clearly, like you said, a lot of these camps for pretty much your entire life, and especially since high school, have been do you want to team up, talking about that, kind of creating relationships with guys, talking to schools. But this one was majority of those guys were commit. There still were a few guys that weren't at that point. But how much different was it just having a lot of guys already had the college decision? Like how the conversation has switched from this past Pangos camp compared to all the other camps you've been to?
I just feel like most of these dudes were, as you know, most of them were seniors, so
Mm-hmm.
most of them was committed. So it was a lot of trash talking, going back and forth about schools and different stuff like that. And I just felt like it's way better to play with you signed to a school and you made your decision, because it's like like you can kind of like like relax a little bit. You can not necessarily relax in the working aspect, but just the pressure is lifted off your shoulders of worried about your decision and worried about if schools want you and stuff like that. So everybody was just real cool, and I don't know about other teams, but the South team was real focused on winning, and it was real cool.
Now, growing up, I don't like asking this question until you guys are committed and you're clearly going to Auburn, but was there a school growing up that you kind of had a dream school of that you really just loved watching as a kid?
I feel like everybody had a dream school growing up, and it was definitely Kentucky, the Blue Bloods. They always on
Mhm.
TV, always watching them. But when I got older, I started looking at other schools and stuff like that. So I grew out of that pretty quickly, and started keeping my options open and knowing that there's so many good programs and so many good coaches out there that you just got to pick the best one that fits you.
And ultimately, that's what I want to talk about too is your fit at Auburn. We know there's going to be a lot of talent. This team is extremely young, and the probably Sharif the way he's playing right now probably will lead to him probably going one and done. We'll see what his decision is. Alan Flanigan is looking special too, but if this is the roster next year, how do you see yourself fitting in? What's your role? What kind of what's Coach Pearl and this kind of coaching staff telling you you might kind of fit into the team next year? How's that going to look?
I feel like I'll fit in perfectly. Me just watching their games
Mhm.
and watching like how I could fit. I feel like I could fit into any system just with, like I said, energy and effort. I feel like I just want to focus on not the pace of college basketball and the intensity and the physical game of it. I just feel like I don't want that to be a shocker to me when I get there. I really try to play in high school games like I'm in college and try to play fast and try to play like like I'm there now, and I don't want it to chill in high school games because I can really just coast in it and still do what I do. But I just try to you know sometimes look ahead and see myself in those situations, and Coach Pearl always talks about me fitting into the system and me being a floor spacer, spacing the floor, just being an overall playmaker. And he always talks about defense. That's why another reason why I chose there.
Mhm.
And I feel like I would just fit in perfectly, with the intensity of the program and just the overall fit.
How about position wise? Because there are some guys that probably will be returning. I think JT Thor has a good chance of coming back. We know Jalen Williams looking good. Do you see yourself running possibly a 3 or 4 or 5? Like, what kind of position do you think you might be running next year?
I'll run whatever he put me at, honestly. Whatever he put me at, whatever he need me to play, I'll run it. We never really talked about a set position or anything like that, but you know, I'm open to anything, whatever he need me to play.
I enter this off talking about you are now the highest commit Auburn history, and this has been a record being broken almost a couple years in a row now. but just having that
Mhm.
to your name, we know you're one of the most highest touted players going to Auburn. Does that put pressure on your shoulders, or what kind of goes through your mind thinking that you are the highest touted player, highest recruited player in Auburn history?
I just feel like it was pretty cool. I honestly didn't know that when I committed there.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm thinking about looking back, like when I did commit, I never thought about that nobody highly rated as me has committed there. So I really honestly didn't know. But when I read it and found out, it was pretty cool. But I just try not to look at that,
Mm-hmm.
just always just get there with no pressure on my shoulders and just know I'm playing for me, not playing for nobody else, not playing for any media sites, not playing for nobody, just playing for me, playing for the love of the game and working hard every day and then see where it takes me.
One thing I'm really impressed about you is that we talked about a year and a half ago, and at that point, you already were a top 5 star. You already were highly ranked, but we see so many guys. It's kind of a struggle to keep that top ranked player, not letting stuff get to you, not letting kind of falling off a little bit. You've been able to continue to rise up and get better and better, work on your game, ignore distractions. How have you been able to do that throughout your high school career?
I just feel like I got people in my corner who's just keeping me level headed. My dad, my high school coach, Coach Nick, my mom, family, friends, just everybody always, I just thank them for not treating me no differently, no matter know what like my friends treat me no different no matter what success came and then like that. And I feel like I haven't changed since success came. So I just always try to stay that same person. I always treat it like I'm a nobody and always work hard like I'm a nobody. And hopefully that mindset, that humble mindset will get me to where I want to go.
There's a special accolade you also have, and that's that you are a gold medalist. You came away winning
Hmm.
that, and you were able to go out there for U16. You went up to Brazil. Take us through this how special an experience that was, and coming away with the gold medal.
Oh, I love talking about this because it was just like every time I think about it, it put a smile on my face because it was just so fun. Now that I'm looking back at it, while we were there, the only thing we would think about is when we were gonna go home. Like like we didn't really like it like that. But looking back at it, I I would do it again. Like it was like it was honestly fun, like it was fun in Florida, meeting new people, um, building relationships, and then with the USA team, when the roster was picked, we was together all the time. It's not like we knew anybody in Brazil or nothing like that. So we always was together. Always was laughing. Was always was joking around. So just me being with them, me really building a relationship with the coaching staff and the whole USA program. It was just real cool to get down there and and compete with them, build relationships with them, um, and just overall get down there and win the gold medal. So it was one of the greatest experiences I've ever experienced going to a different country and all of that. So I'll never forget it. But it was so many situations where you was just like, dang, I want to go home, or like the long flight.
Mm.
So many people on the team who was tall, who was cramped up in the plane. So it was just so many things you would look back and think that you was complaining about, but honestly, you would do it again because it was so fun and so new to you.
What would you say is your favorite your favorite memory from the trip, and what was your worst memory from the trip?
Worst memory was definitely the 8 hour, like 10 hour flight.
Mm.
I couldn't sleep because I was so cramped. And on planes they always rolling the thing back and forth for like food and stuff like that. So when I kick my legs out in the aisle to like kind of stretch out a little bit, the thing always roll by and I have to wake up and stuff like that. So I feel like the flight was pretty tough for me. And the best part was definitely winning the gold medal. And honestly, just getting that relief off, like just we came down here to do one thing, and that was to win the gold medal. And we did that, and we finally knew it was time to go home. So I feel like that was the best part.
When you got back to the States, got back home, what was the first thing you remember doing?
Laying in my bed and just was like, dang, this was like like I said, when you don't realize how fun it was until you got back home and
Mhm.
you was just like just take a week off and you was just like just enjoying the moment and just thanking God for the experience and just seeing your family again. Um, it was just pretty cool seeing friends again you haven't seen for like we were gone for like a month, so
Mhm.
it was a pretty long time. So just getting back and getting back to where you're from, getting back to friends and family. It was cool. The first thing I did was definitely lay in my bed though and just relax.
And unfortunately, we know COVID set in. You guys weren't able to go to play for Team USA this year, and we'll see if there could be any form of 19U or what that could look like, if that even is a possibility. But what would it have been like if you could have gotten back out there and most likely you would have been on the team? How excited would you have been for that next experience?
I was definitely excited. I think my mom was more excited than me because the 17U one is in Greece, and she
Mm-hmm.
was just so excited about Greece and going and stuff like that. Us not knowing, of course, about the that COVID was gonna hit and stuff like that. But I would always tell her like I still got to try out for the team and stuff like that. You know how I am. I'm real like I don't like to like just be entitled to something or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like I still got to try out for the team, and she was just like shut up, all of that. So I was just thinking about trying out for the team and really the experience that I would have going to Greece and meeting some of and being with some of those guys again if they were to make the team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just experiencing like it was gonna be like another time, just get that time back. But then COVID hit, so it was kind of cut short. But it would have been real cool if I got to do that though.
Was there a guy on that team that you didn't know prior to that really well that you kind of created a really strong bond with?
I feel like I created a real strong bond with probably Chris Livingston. I was probably
Mhm.
created the strongest bond with him, Chris.
Absolutely. Well, a few more things before I let you go. One of which is that you guys did get an opportunity to play some AAU this past year, and you're on that Atlanta Celtics team, and we see some of those pictures. You got to go with JD Davidson in a game, Matt Cleveland on your team as well. How fun was that team and just playing with those other guys?
Man, it was so fun. It was just me playing. Like it's so stress relieving to not I feel like everybody should play like this, but like just playing like not worried about scoring and just actually like
Mm.
enjoying the game and really having fun and like it was just so fun playing with other people who just so unselfish. Fun to play with, running a lot. It was just a great team. You seen the highlights. It was just so fun.
I'm the guy JD. That's a different point guard that not many people can play with because there's very few guards that can get up like he can, that plays at his speed, his athleticism. How much did that
Mhm.
help your game just playing with a guy like that?
I feel like it helped me and the rest of the team's game a lot because we all wanted to like, we all played kind of like fast and we
Mhm.
all wanted to run. So, Matt loves to run. You know how he is. He loves to run and jump. I love to run. Not necessarily. I really don't think I got a jumping aspect like them two,
Mhm.
but I do like to run and I feel like he helped us so much. He's so unselfish. He's a great passer. That's what a lot of people don't see. He's a great passer. He don't talk a lot, but but it was real cool. And just looking back on it, you just thank God for those moments and those experiences.
Being in Georgia, that is like when I said earlier, one of the best places you could possibly play basketball at, one of the best basketball producing states you can be in. And you look at this entire state right now, 2021, who would you put on a roster if you could put together an 8, 9 man roster of guys from Georgia? Who's on that team?
Um, you hit me with this one. This one's tough. I don't want to leave nobody out, but I feel like it'll be me and Matt. I have to put my boy Miles on there.
Mhm.
Um, that's three. Um, I would have to put Peyton on there, Peyton Daniels. Um, dang, it's so many. I would have to put Chance Moore.
Mhm.
Um, dang, um, Chance Moore. I would have to put Cameron McDowell on there. Ian Shefflin. Um, Danny Stubbs. Um, it's just so many like Ryan Matombo. It's just so many, so many people you can name. I know I'm leaving some. Oh my God, Scooter. I'm tripping. But of course him. But um, it's just so many. I don't want to leave nobody out, so I'm gonna just stop it right there. So yeah, I would say that would just some of the best ones off the top of my head.
Personally, I do think Scooter is probably the number one point guard, especially in 2022.
Yeah.
Take us through this because we know you're moving on. We know Matt, a lot of the guys just listed are moving on to college now in a couple months. Alongside Scoot, though, who else is going to take over and kind of represent Georgia next year?
I feel like Scoot definitely will. I feel like he's gonna be the best player in Georgia in the 2022 class. Like it's not close. But
Mm-hmm.
um, but I feel like well, I don't know if Dylan Hunter's still in Georgia, but
Mm-hmm.
he's real good too. And don't knock him at all. Like he's real. Like he was one of the closest dudes I was with at the USA camp because he was on the USA team because he was from Georgia too. So
Mm-hmm.
like that's my brother. I was real cool with him. So he would definitely be. It would definitely be them two. And I'm trying to think of some other ones. Bruce Thornton, of course. I didn't name him on the list. I knew I would leave somebody out, but Bruce, of course, he's real good. Um, um, Tyrese Elliott for Grayson, he's in the 2022 class. Um, there's so many people. Kendall Campbell, I think he plays for. No, he does play for Milton.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's pretty good. Um, I know Kanan Carlisle, he go to Milton too. I mean, he's not in the 2022 class, but he's a sophomore and he's pretty good. Isaiah Collier's real good. And some Sandy Creek boys, Vic Newsom, and Micah Smith. So I just feel like those are the names off the top of my head that I can think of that's gonna be the top names in Georgia next year.
Without doubt. Well, you got a little bit left in the season now. You're committed. You're signed. It's all done now. Just what do you want to achieve? What do you want to accomplish throughout the next few months of your final high school moments?
Um, just don't take nothing for granted and overall win the state championship. I've been here for 4 years. We've been so close every year, and I just feel like this would be the great year to just end off my high school career and just finish it off the right way with a ring.
Absolutely, man. Well, final two topics for you. One is talking about family. We know your dad's playing the NBA. How
Mm-hmm.
impactful has it been in your career? What's it just been like having a guy that's achieved what you ultimately want to do someday in your corner helping you out?
I just feel like it's helped me so much.
Mhm.
He teach me off the court stuff he didn't know growing up without a dad. He teach me on the court stuff. There's little stuff that you think you don't need to know, but you need to know. On the court, I'm not even gonna talk about that. He taught me almost everything I know. I'm not gonna get into that how much he taught me on the court, but just off the court and just keeping me, level headed. And he kind of made me the man I am today about like not looking forward and always staying level headed and staying humble. So he helped me with that, and I just feel like he's been a big influence. And without him, I don't know where I'll be right now.
Have you guys played one-on-one before? And if so, has that still going on today or did that end a little bit ago?
Oh, here goes this question. It like right now he honestly can't beat me. I know he's not gonna like the answer, but right now he say he been working out a lot. Like he been working out like nonstop. And he said he gonna play me one more time. And I just feel like nah, it's not gonna happen. But I feel like I started beating him probably my sophomore year. I started competing, and then junior year, that's when I really started beating him. And then he stopped playing me for a real long time. He tried it again, then it didn't go his way. And then so now he just working out, trying to get back right and play me one last time. Because in a minute it's not gonna be no chance for him.
So what are these scores looking like? You winning by multiple points, a couple points? Like what are these scores looking like?
I mean, honestly, it varies. We kind of
Mhm.
play spots, like spots going to 3, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Spots going to 5. So sometimes it might be a close one. Sometimes it might get ugly a little bit. So it just varies.
Absolutely, man. Well, the thing I was like wrapping up discussing is building a legacy for yourself, and that's something I know all guys want to do. So we know your next step is Auburn. We know your goal is NBA, but when you do step away from this game someday, what do you ultimately want to be remembered for? What do you want your legacy to be for what you achieve both on and off the court?
On the court, I just want to be remembered as, like I said, a two-way player, great leader, somebody that just everybody just loves playing with. Somebody I want to be always known as a winner. I feel like I am a winner, and I feel like I just want to be known as that. And off the court, I want to I'll always look back to give back to my community and always be remembered as just this humble guy who was um just somebody everybody just loves and people only got good things to say about.
Absolutely, man. Discuss your faith a little bit. I know you're a believer. Kind of just talk about God and how He's helped get you to the point you're at today.
Without God, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be anything. So my grandma's real big on God, and my whole family is. So um, just them teaching me that to always put God first, always pray, and everything else will take care of itself, and everything will, and God will align things how you want them to be. So just always remembering that and putting God first always.
Is there a moment you've seen God show up the biggest in your life so far?
I feel like God has shown up so many times. I just can't pick out just the one,
Mm-hmm.
one moment. Just so many accomplishments that I've gotten where I just had to sit back. Like coming back from the USA trip, I just had to sit back and thank God. Like there was so many people who tried out for that team, so many people who want to be on that team. So even like any like minor accomplishments, like even 1,000 points, like that's not really that big of a deal. But it's just like, dang, you dream of stuff like this as a kid, seeing other people do it. Like the opportunity of being a McDonald's All-American really hit home for me. Even signing a college scholarship, being recruited, all of that. It's just stuff you dream of as a kid, something you look into as a kid and just be like, I want to do that. I want to be that one day. So just God helping me get here is just, I thank him every day for it.
Amen, man. My final thing for you, give Auburn fans your 3 biggest goals you have set for your Auburn career.
For my Auburn career, I honestly want to make a Final Four. I want to promise I'm gonna work hard every day. And another goal is it's always never gonna be he doesn't play hard or he doesn't give it his all and nothing like that. I'm always gonna be that guy who plays hard and always putting the team first, not gonna be selfish, and hopefully get into a Final Four and hopefully if we get past that, win a national championship. So those are my biggest goals at Auburn.
Absolutely, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today, and I'm excited to see what God got next for you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Of course, always welcome on, man. God bless.
Yep. God bless.